Good morning. Yeah, so I wanted to share on this Sunday morning an insight that I had. Uh, an insight that I had during my first truffle ceremony ever. And it will uh, it will give you some insights. At least it gave me some insights. Might give you some insights that coincidences don't exist. That everything happens for a reason, and the reason why. And that if in your life you are trying to rationalize your way out of coincidences, yeah, it might also be that you are not really ready to take full responsibility over your life. And through the insights that I've gained, and it's funny because I got this information download while I was doing it, and it took me many years later. It's like when we're reading a book, and then all of a sudden, past experiences are seen in a different light. And then all of a sudden you're like, shit, so that was what was going on back then. That was like with this insight that I got through this information download. So that was in a time that I was working hard, working intensely hard, as I grew up, as you guys know, poor. And for me, money was safety. So a long time in my life, I was not really busy with where I wanted to go. I was actually busy with where I would want to run away from. And I was running away from feeling worthless, feeling poor, feeling dependent, feeling stuck in a system that, I was just always like, what are we doing here, man? It's like, this is insane. The planet is spinning in the universe. And we're not looking up. We're just always looking down. Everybody's doing this. He has a job, paying mortgage, but what? Nah. So my brother took me to this ceremony, and in essence, that was a big scare for me, because that was the first time that I had to take something and actually lie down and go inside. Like big fear came through me from this moment. So I remember when we took it, and all of a sudden there was light shining in my eyes, I thought. And it, reality started changing so quickly that, I panicked. My ego was screaming. It was like, I'm dying. I'm not coming back. Look at what Robert did in the weekend. He just went with his brother to this truffle ceremony, and he came back insane. So I started crying, and I was like, what is this light? What is the light? And then fortunately, you're guided by this amazing lady. And she said, no, Robert, that is the light. That's where you're from. And then all of a sudden it was like, I was crashing through the atmosphere, re-entering from the moon or something. It was breaking up. And all of a sudden I landed. And my pod opened up, and I looked, and it was like Avatar land. And I really recognized the light. I mean, it was actually like if I put my fingers in the socket, and I was just electrocuted by unconditional love. And I also felt that that's where we're from. That in essence, who we are now is just simply a projection on the wall. And this, all what you see, is just the light hitting the wall, and we are all just acting out a play, like a slide. But we are all in the slide where there is no time and space. And it felt that over there there is no time and space. There is only love, the highest frequency. I mean, it's like the feeling you might have for your child, feeling you might have for your mother, you know. It was insane. I mean, it's something that I never felt before. I never felt since then. And then all of a sudden I just got this information download like, oh yeah, okay, so I chose this body. I chose this life. I'm acting out Robert. Because over there everything is perfect. If I think about something, it's immediate manifestation. So I needed to incarnate into a body with limited senses, because we just see like 3% of the light spectrum, right? And but in that limitation is the lessons. Because think or feel, if we are originally, or our souls might still be there in the slide, if over there all potentials are there, our highest self is there, everything you can think about you have immediately, you are immediately, what's the fun, you know? Don't you need to slow it down a little? Don't you need to maybe like play a little game to act out some certain things? Let me remove this. Yeah, no, I don't have a broken nose. I'm just struggling with good sleep. With all the thoughts in my mind. So this is to sleep better in the night. So, you know, if there is limitless potential, everything is there. You know, our higher selves are there. We've already moved beyond this level. But we still want to learn things about love, about loss, about war, about peace, about fear, about, you know, stepping to the edge of your comfort zone. Then you can incarnate in this little body on this blue ball, where the rules are that you forget all of that and you really think that you are this body. And all the limitations and all the, you know, just the small spectrum of light you can see, and the frequencies, you know, the cats here and the dogs here and you can't hear, and that makes up your reality, that makes up your little play. And I realized that is the whole goal. This is not the reality. The reality is there where everything is, you know, where all the souls together are one, where there is only love. I don't know, was it source that I felt? I don't know, I hope. I mean, if it's a great place, I'd like to go back there after this life to chill the F out, because this has been insane. But just think, you pick up a phone and immediately that person calls you. Or you're at the other side of the world and then you run into like an old neighbor and you're like, wow, that's a coincidence. And then they say, no, nothing is a coincidence. And I believe that's true. There is no coincidences. Because just think, in the place where everything is, you know, in that dimension that I felt, where the light is shining through to beam us here on the wall, in the slide, everything is already there. So that person that you just met at the other side of the world is basically sitting in the same spot as you, you know? And when the lights shine through at the wall, yeah, then it seems that, hey, you know, in this whole play, that in this whole matrix that we've built here, you know, playing out our little plays, yeah, of course, you know, we need distance in this reality to sort of think, hey, this is all here and this is all there and that's a big gap, so hey, that's a big coincidence. But in that time, you needed to meet that person, because, you know, in that place where everything is already there, that person or that consciousness or that soul is sitting beside you, because it's the same thing. But, you know, when the lights beam through the beam and here in the play, they're far apart. So I think it's very interesting, because then when coincidences happen, maybe you can be a little bit more open. Lemira can be a little bit more open to it, that it's not a coincidence. And maybe you can open yourself a little bit more, like I'm also trying to do, by thinking, why am I meeting this person? What lesson, what thought I might have had, what lesson I have to learn, something I put into the field that will help me. Because again, of course, I understand bills to pay, wars to fight, and everything in between. It can really detract you from seeing the magic in that moment, right? But I think if you do that, if you do open yourself for that, and the little play we're playing, and maybe open yourself that this is just all to learn, because over there, everything was already freaking perfect. So we chose for this limitation. So that's also a reason why I think you don't have to change yourself, because you chose yourself to be this person in this life, in this time, currently here on Earth. And you can fully embrace that, right? So if you play Ryu in Street Fighter or Chun-Li, play Chun-Li. Don't go be playing Chun-Li and then, doing a Honda. Yeah, sorry, I'm from '83, so I don't know what we're playing nowadays. But you know what I mean, right? If you're attracted to the character, play the character, play their moves, accept them as they are. Because you've chosen for this life to be who you are, with your pros and your cons, your gifts and your limitations. That's how you wanted to play this game. So, that's why I think coincidences are not coincidences. And, I hope this gives you some insight, or that you can use it. Because for me, in times, I think maybe of crisis, it helps to slow down a little, right? To think about, but what is the meaning in all of this? Because this is all a play, and we are here to learn. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the next time.